Hello, good night, good morning, good evening. Hello, how are you, as we are fond of saying in these games? Welcome to the Southern Nights Storyteller Get Together, Powwow, Character Creation Party, whatever we're doing. I'm Carl Gosline. I am the storyteller number one for the game. With me is Max, who is one of my players, and Matt, my other storyteller, my other part-time storyteller and player. Um, Tonight, what we're hoping to do is get players. We're hoping to use this as an incentive to bring in our new players. Because honestly, guys, you get burned out seeing old world of darkness. It makes you want to go. So, anyway, this is, of course, Southern Nights is a New World of Darkness Requiem game. Takes place in Atlanta, Georgia, in the 1980, right after the southeastern domain, the princes in the southeastern domain, got together and pretty much ousted the Brood, who dominantly controlled Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. So, if you don't know what Brood is, that's okay. They were the bad guys. They're kind of like the Sabbat in Old World. But they are such a misunderstood covenant. I'm sorry, they really are. Just like the Seven. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, um, so that's what we're doing. We're hoping tonight to spark some interest. If you got friends, then you're wondering what the hell this is. I'm going to throw this up on my event page, up on my regular. You can go ahead. We are watching I am watching the Q&A. You can only turn this feature on and off on Google Plus event page. No, I do not have Q&A. I'm sorry, but I will be watching YouTube, the Georgia YouTube page where you're seeing this, and anyway. But anyway, guys, where were we?
Well, Madam, we were talking about morality systems in Requiem.
Oh, it's a little different. It's a lot different, actually. Requiem is New World is different enough. No matter what you play, if you play Vampire New World, you play Changeling New World, you play Werewolf New World, you play Wraith New World, or we call it Geist, Wraith, Mummy. It's all different, but it's different enough that's what makes it fun. Is that you're not playing old world vampires like the same games that you played for the last 20 years. You know, it's all new. And
Yeah,
this,
the morality system in Blood and Smoke is a lot more subjective. I think it allows for people to have kind of their own codes of morality, as opposed to just like the list of bad things that they had in the original World of Darkness and Vampire the Requiem core books. But the concept of humanity is a little different. It's just not this litany of sins that you can commit. It is more about becoming detached from the experience of what it meant to be human, forgetting what that was like, and really giving into the beast. So it's a really cool system, and I think it allows a little bit more freedom than in previous versions of these games.
My biggest thing is I love the bloodlines, but unfortunately we're not allowing those in the game right now. And my favorite bloodline is the Carnival Diva. I just shortly before our Gaslight Requiem game went under the water, I was playing a Carnival bloodline. Loved it, and honestly, it gives you Requiem. New World of Darkness gives you in no matter, like I said, what you're playing, vampire, werewolf, whatever you're playing, it gives you a little bit more of a no, don't want to do that. It gives you a little bit more of an opportunity to flesh out what you want to do. I mean, Bloodlines in New World are when you play a Bloodline, you play something entirely different. It's almost like playing another clan, and I really like that. And another thing is I like the merit system rather than having, you know, backgrounds. The merits are your backgrounds. So, yep. So yeah.
I just posted the link for this in the YouTube RPG Brigade board as well.
I was just going to do that, but I realized that I left that group. I probably should be getting back on that group, because
Shame on you. Shame on you.
well, when nobody was showing interest about Requiem 5 months ago, I just gave up on it. I was like, well, these are poopy-headed
Well,
people that hold
well,
on.
there's the thing is, the RPG Brigade is not just for one role-playing game; it's for multiple role-playing games, and that what makes it fun, in my opinion.
Yep. I tell
I'm
you what, I played Pathfinder last weekend. I was expecting maybe 5 or 6 to show up for Pathfinder. I had 24. I actually
wow.
maxed. I could not have. It made me feel bad because I couldn't have everybody that because even when you're connected to YouTube, you can only have so many people online at one. I had to like um yeah, I had to give. I just had to wait. So I mean, the YouTube gaming community, we're here, and it's pretty cool. And they just don't want to play things like Vampire. When I dropped Pathfinder, I just happened to drop Pathfinder on that RPG thing. I had next thing I know, in my character creation party, I had 24 people, and I had to get rid of. I had to drop so many to get it to where my thing would run.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on just a second, guys. I'm networking. I
It's okay.
like to
Same
net.
here.
I like to network. New Requiem.
Damn you, not work. No, just kidding.
We are running on the new Requiem RPG on YouTube. Would love for you to come play. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to mute my mic a second.
Sure.
Dun dun dun. So, of course, for like, I've never played Requiem, so I'm just starting, and like I know that the big concept of the game is all about the covenants, because those are the different political views of like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, what is in your opinion the most impactful covenant at this moment?
Ooh. My favorite has always been a tie between the Lankea Sanctum and the Ordo Dracul, and it's for totally different reasons. The Lankea Sanctum is I think my favorite covenant, simply because it's like 10th century Catholic Church through the eyes of Charles Manson. They actually share a lot in common with the Sabbat in their organizational structure and in their kind of religious fanaticism, but they're not so prone to the kind of wanton destruction that the Sabbat was. Their belief really is that the Roman soldier that pierced Christ's side with a spear, Longinus, was one of the first vampires, that when Christ's blood poured out and splashed on his face and in his mouth, that this cursed him eternally, and it granted him eternal life, but that it cursed him with all of these things for his unholy act. And so the Lankea Sanctum really kind of its history parallels the rise of the Catholic Church in those early centuries. And the kind of whole dogma that they have is that they realize that God has damned them, but that they serve a purpose in God's plan, and that is to kind of cull the herd of humanity, basically, to put humanity to be the perfect monster, the perfect predator, and to put humanity through trials and tribulations, so that those people who are most worthy of salvation and have the strongest faith will succeed and will move on to be with God in the afterlife, and those who are not will be condemned. And it's through serving this holy function that you have the possibility that your soul, your own soul, might be saved. So it's this weird kind of twisted Judeo-Christian outlook where you're actually engaging in really monstrous activities for the purpose of possibly saving your soul. And
it is so awesome.
yeah, and there's so much to that covenant that it's just fucking rad.
I just played for the last 11 years. Played a bishop, and I tell you, um, uh, um, how to tell you guys about that one. Gotcha. It's just it was just one of the most experiences. I was the most evil holy man that I have ever been. It's just, there's a whole system, you know, and the Order of Dracul is another great one. They believe in
exactly
this.
that's my second favorite.
Go ahead.
And I alternate between the two of them.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them about that.
So the Ordo Dracul is kind of similar in that they also believed that their founder, at least the legend, was that Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, was cursed by God on the battlefield for his horrific crimes against humanity and nature, and he was cursed as a vampire. But Dracula, over the years, he studied with the Circle of the Crone, learned their blood magic, but found that it was basically like inert. It didn't offer him what he was seeking. He studied with a man in the Lancaea Sanctum and found their dogma to be too limiting, and eventually developed his own philosophy and his own set of abilities known as the Coils of the Dragon. And his philosophy is about transcending the vampiric condition, and so and it becomes much more about this kind of twisted rationalism and devotion to science and enlightenment. And these abilities, the Coils of the Dragon, actually do allow you to escape certain aspects of the curse. And they've been altered in the new edition. I'm not exactly familiar with them, but there were certain coils that would allow you to escape certain aspects of the beast, escape certain situations that would cause you to frenzy, or like it would allow you to stay awake during the day, and it would also allow you to continue to feed off of the blood of animals, no matter how powerful your character becomes. Because in this game, as your blood potency increases over time and you become more powerful, it's basically like the generation system. The more powerful all of that becomes, you can no longer sustain yourself on the blood of animals, and eventually you can't sustain yourself on the blood of humans. You can only sustain yourself on the blood of other vampires.
Go to sleep. Is that
exactly
what that means?
Yeah, Ben,
But it
but
allows you to
just know that diablerie is still illegal after the fall of the Camarilla, so it's still a no-no. You don't do it. You usually get knocked over the head and put in torpor or long sleep. So
the Ordo Dracul is really, they're kind of these almost like weird, like Enlightenment mystics. They're really fucking cool. There's all sorts of speculation on whether or not Dracula was real, whether it was all bullshit. There are several characters in the Ordo Dracul book that are NPCs that are possible candidates for having been Dracula. They all kind of claim to be Dracula, and they're all powerful enough to be, but nobody knows if they're real. And they're kind of funny because they take on different. There's one that's almost kind of like a Bela Lugosi style incarnation of it. It's really fascinating. The other covenants, the Invictus is very much like the Camarilla was, and
kind of vaguely Judeo-Christian, if I remember correctly. They're very kind of Inquisition-y in their thinking, if I remember right.
yeah. They're very much stuck on etiquette and law, and they are generally the people who rule because etiquette keeps them alive. It's all this kind of procedure and whatnot.
Hey, we have somebody that just joined the group. Hold on. Sorry. Hello, Joshua, welcome.
Thank you very much. Mostly just a crazy insomniac Viking, so that should go very well.
Well, like I said, welcome. Feel free to hang out. I am trying to do some other networking, so if I'm not talking a lot, I apologize, folks. Leave it in the hands of my capable assistant storyteller. The goal tonight is we're going to talk about it, and while you and I are here to help them, since Max doesn't know the system, I am not above screen sharing my book so we can make characters. I am so not above doing that tonight. If you are willing, that way, if we have people that completely are clueless, like Max, we can help him and we can be there to help him so he doesn't make it and then we have to tell him to make it again.
I know.
So anyway, I will be right back. I am knee deep in my Facebook trying to get some people in here.
Sure.
How did you hear about us, Joshua?
Did we lose him?
Nope. Oh, wait.
His picture looks frozen.
I think he froze. Yay, go internet.
I talked to him on the YouTube RPG Brigade.
Okay, that's cool.
So
I'm going to mute. I'll be right back.
Okay. So the Invictus is very much like the Camarilla. And they place a lot of importance on lineage and all this other stuff. One of the other groups, the Carthians, they're kind of like the Anarchs, but they're very much more like the kind of hardcore black bloc socialists and anarchists that smash the windows of the Starbucks type of people. When they were
praise freedom and pass the ammunition.
Yeah, it's like the first way that they were described in the original Vampire the Requiem core book was kind of boring. They were just kind of seemed like, I was like, oh, so they're like Democrats basically. They favor democracy and equality and all these things. But when they released the source book for it, they kind of refined that into this is about this like radical notion of equality, but they have like totalitarian elements to them. So they are a really interesting political movement. They're usually pretty marginal in their presence in a lot of people's games and cities, but I think this game is actually going to be taking place in a kind of one of their Anarch Free State type of things. And last but not least, we have the Circle of the Crone. And these are kind of like pagans and witches, and they have their own sort of blood sorcery. And in the first game, they were antagonists a lot, and I was never really interested in playing them. But in this new version, they've kind of refined the concept a lot to where their philosophy is like, they look at the Lancea Sanctum as being like, well, they think that you are this something that God looks down upon, and you're this lowly predator, and you're a sinner, and this is awful. And the Ordo Dracul, they look at your condition as being this curse imposed upon them that they have to transcend. But what we look at us is that we're a part of nature. We're exactly like wolves. We're exactly like we are a part of the way things are, asking where we came from is not really that important. We just know that we are, and we serve a function in the world. And they also kind of made them more unpredictable. Like, they're not very hierarchically organized, but it's like if their members become threatened, the bodies hit the floor. They go to the mattresses and just wipe people out.
That sounds really interesting.
This is, like I said, I've never wanted to play a Crypto character until now.
They are dominantly Nosferatu, Gangrel, the
Yeah.
ones that like to hit. Where most of the other covenants are a mix of the 5 clans. Yes, Atlanta unfortunately is a Carthian free state, which does not make me a bit dishappy one bit.
Mm-hmm.
They live here because they have to live here, but I guarantee you they don't like the fact that there's the pinnacle of the Southeast is ran by the movement. And they're going to do everything in their power to get rid of the Carthian prince.
That could also create really fun plot if players were to create members of that covenant.
Oh, well, yeah, you can play any covenant you want to. Just understand the prince is Carthian, which means the domain is a Carthian domain.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how do you describe this in old? There's really no way to describe it from old world standing.
So hang on. Carthian, if I remember correctly, are basically like communist, largely blue.
Free thinkers.
Yeah, bourgeois ran, kind of green card thinking.
But
they're like radicals for equality, and like you said, that's like calling them communists is very much in line. That's a lot of what they're like. They really want to give all the neonates just as much of a say as the elders, the Primogen, and the Invictus.
And
they're willing to burn people and bomb them to achieve that.
And just so you know, there are no such thing as Primogen because we don't focus on clan. It's the Prisky Council, the Council of the 5 Covenants. If we get enough players, I may ask for a Primogen Council, but for right now, I don't think we're going to have enough to justify trying to have both.
I kind of like the idea of starting this really small, though. Like you said, the scenario begins with just having ousted and finally destroyed this invasion of Belial's brood, and so all the political structures are in kind of a shambles, but they're also kind of, in a sense, up for grabs in that way. Yep. So this is the kind of thing where it's like, we don't have to have established elders here. This can just be like, people here, holy shit, Atlanta it's ripe for the taking, and you can have kindred coming from all over the place looking to make their name and get their own territory.
Absolutely.
I definitely do a lot of ambitious, a lot of cool calculating characters, so this is going to be right up my wheelhouse.
Cool.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear.
There's also, and this is something that's new to the edition as well, is the inclusion of these vampire enemies.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
They were present in a couple of different books, but the information on them in the different books was totally contradictory. But the relics are these owl spirits. They give off the same predatory taint that vampires do. They have a lot of the same weaknesses that vampires do, but they're mostly
hey guys,
creatures.
I did something trying to put my speakers in my ears, and now I can't hear nothing. So I can't leave because unfortunately, oh, that's how you fix it. Never mind. Default microphone.
Get your shit together.
There we go. And there we go. I'm going to try switching it one more time. I know, right? Microphone.
Now, I will say this.
Nope, it's just not going to let me do that. Oh, well.
Is Josh?
Speakers.
I will say this.
Oh, well. He'll have to deal with it when he gets home.
I've always loved the lore and the kind of depth they gave it. but they did kind of mess the system to a certain degree. Is there something that we're going to be doing to kind of counteract some of the bumpiness?
Oh, the Requiem system?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new edition of the rules, the Blood and Smoke rules, are like awesome. They really, really fixed the mechanics, and like I mean, they redid a bunch of the disciplines. It's really, really cool, and it's a little bit different than it was, but they fixed all the kind of clunkiness of version 1.0.
Okay, then my concerns are addressed. I am good.
Good.
Yo, yay! Yay! Praise the writer of Blood and Smoke.
Basically, all I was worried about was, I mean, basically we have a good plot, but if it's kind of hard to get into the actual gameplay aspect, it's kind of like,
Mhm. One of the other things that they've done is to kind of encourage coming up with plot hooks and whatnot is that each character has these touchstones that it's almost kind of like a concept from Wraith the Oblivion, where your character has, it's either a place or maybe it's a person from their human life that keeps them connected to their humanity. And it's possible that these things can be put in danger, and if they are destroyed or altered in some way, it can have a negative impact on your humanity. But it's another way to give your character an aspect of this human touch, and it gives them vulnerabilities as well.
well, that's awesome. I always like to play kind of anti-hero characters anyway, so that works out really well. I mean, I find it so difficult to typecast these guys as, worm-tainted villains like in Werewolf. I'm like, these were people. It's kind of hard for me to, like, I mean, yes, there's internal struggle, but what human doesn't struggle with appetites, desires,
Yeah.
impulses, all that? I mean, strictly as a person with a rather high IQ and a person who's sat in a wheelchair for a long period of my life, introspecting on a lot of these things, they're basically very human.
Yes. Except that sometimes as a vampire you can't control it, and it makes you kill people.
Yep. Of course, having that berserker gene, I kind of have that same impulse control, so yet again.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the higher your humanity is, the less you want to do that killing stuff. So
Yeah.
Yay, murder!
I'm at a 6 with Duncan at the current moment, which is good. He was a 9, but during the course of the fight, he unfortunately lost a few killing the brood. Um, anyway, what we're hoping to do again tonight, for those of you that are watching on YouTube or on Google Hangouts, is we are hoping to get players for our game. Our game is brand new. We conceived it. I conceived it about 4.5 months ago. Didn't have any way to promote it. Didn't know about YouTube RPG. Didn't know about. I didn't know about the Requiem group, the Onyx Requiem group. Didn't know about it. Found it. Then now here we are. So what we're gonna do is, I guess I'm gonna everybody has if um we are going to share I guess we're gonna. What are we gonna do with books? Oh, probably should not be talking about books while we're live. Um, I guess I'm gonna screen share mine, or how are we gonna do that? How
I
do
mean,
you?
I guess that's a good idea for now.
Okay. Or we could always. Well, no, because I want people in here. I want people to see it. So I don't want to do that. So let me flip up to my screen share and get my book up. Oops, no, you don't want me to screen share my sound, and you don't want me to screen share my. Let me. Um. Actually, we probably could talk them through it. We could give them a character sheet and then talk them through it, and then help them with like the specific stuff that needs the book pages.
Sure. I mean, most of the things, if you've played Vampire the Masquerade, it's pretty much the same thing in terms of character generation. And the character sheet itself, at the very bottom of it, has a summary of you know, how many dots you get for each category, how to calculate your health and your willpower, and everything on the sheet. It tells you how to do that. So if you've played a World of Darkness game in the past, then chances are this is going to be pretty much the same for you. The differences are in the details when you choose your disciplines. The disciplines are different, and some of them are remarkably different than they were in Masquerade or even in previous versions of Requiem.
Yeah. That is our homepage. Joshua, if you get some time, will you make an account there, please? It's our board. Just when you get some time, you don't have to do it tonight, but we can do that. Basically, what that does is that allows me to put you in the player union, which allows me to know how many active players I have in the game. It also allows me to put you on your covenant board when you choose your covenant, which will allow you to communicate both in character and out of character, but probably mostly because we focus so much on doing everything live, the covenant boards probably will end up being mostly out of play, us passing things to the specific covenant players, but you can use it to leave notes and stuff on as well. Whatever the board ends up being in play, whether it be a handwritten letter, email, you guys, each covenant can decide how they want to do that, and let me know. But mainly that is for me to keep track of characters and players. So when you get a minute, if you would, please. Max and Matt are already on there, so that is a good. And I'm rambling. Sorry, I'm going to mute myself now. Let you get started, Matt.
Oh, and what?
I'll let you get them started.
Alright, well, I had a long rambling in my ear. I didn't focus. What were we talking about? No, just joking.
I will punch you. I know where you live.
No, you don't.
In the Netherlands.
Yes, but where? I know it's a tiny country, but where?
There. Anyway.
Just point somewhere on the map. There's a 50% chance you're right.
Random aggro drop.
Yeah. Alright, let me get character sheets. Let me give everybody the link to the character sheets. Oh, I don't have that anymore. Gosh, I am so
I got
unprepared.
it. I can pull it
I
up.
am so unprepared. Good grief.
I think I have it.
We will keep track of your characters. Once we get the hard copy of your character sheet, we will put it in the storyteller only section of the forum. That way we can keep track of it and let you know when it's time to spend XP. We're not going to do a big blue book thing like they do in the old world games. We're going to keep working copies of your character sheet. Our copy is the right copy, always. That way, when you update it, we can update it on your blue book, and then you can update it with however you want to update your personal copy. But the blue book is what we keep the main character updates on.
So if I post something in the chat, is that going to show up for the YouTube people as well, or?
Nope.
Nope. Hey, all you YouTube people, if you really love us, you will come to. Wait a minute. Let me put that other note. Let me. You will go to. Wait. You will go to that red link and come in here. You will come talk to us. If you are watching via YouTube, you go to the red link. The red link. and come on in and talk to us that way. If not, catch us. My email is georgiabynightst@gmail. Uh, you can send it to or you could join the forums and send it me PMs on the forums. But it's georgiabynightst at gmail if you need help. But anyway, all right. So.
Well, this will be interesting. I'm actually a Georgia native, so this will be like the World of Darkness canvassing of where I live.
Where are you from? Or the general area where are you from?
Well, right now I'm in Cave Spring, which is basically right in that ass crack area between Alabama and Cedartown, which is basically bumfuck middle of nowhere.
Well, it's Georgia. Anywhere is nowhere. I am originally. I was born and raised exactly 3.5 blocks away from White Wolf, but my wife is in the military, so we are now stationed at Robbins, down in a little podunk town called Warner Robins. But I am originally from Atlanta.
Okay, so I'm going to step off screen for a minute, but I'm going to leave my microphone going, and hopefully I'm not going to give you any feedback. If you guys get too much echo, just let me know, and I'll fix
I'll
it.
mute you. No, if I can mute you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, he put that in the dice. He put that in the chat. So that's the character sheet. When he comes back, he'll talk to you more about it, because I'm still kind of... I know old Requiem, but I'm kind of learning new Requiem. So it was kind of I made my first NPC today. It was kind of my first, my whole... what is his line?
First foray into it. Now, just a little bit of clarification on Belial's Brood, which is basically like the Bali on steroids. They're like...
No, they are... Boy, what is it? The Bali think that they are better than everybody else. Bali are the bad guys. Bali are one of the unplayable. You can't play... We don't allow them as player characters because they are so freaking broken. You don't want to play them, and you don't definitely want to play a 7. Although I heard rumors that the 7 were going to become a PC playable thing, but that's just me. I won't let them in for a bit. But you don't want to play a ball. You don't want to play a brood. Brood are the bad. Brood are. There are 2 or 3. There are 2 or 3 clans. I mean, 2 or 3 covenant clans, and 1 or 2 extra covenants that are antagonistic covenants and clans. They're the bad guys. So.
Oh, trust me, I understand that part. I was basically trying to fish for like background information and know what we were possibly dealing with as far as like the bad guys and whatnot.
Right. Okay. Hey, Max. Never mind. I'm a call.
He'll swing back around.
Yep.
Sorry, it was muted.
That's okay. Did I accidentally... I was just going to ask you, did I accidentally mute you, or did you mute yourself?
No, I muted myself.
We're going to wrap out characters. I know it's late over there for you. Hey, can you send me an invite to that RPG group?
Sure. 1 sec. The RPG Brigade, you mean?
Yep.
I can probably do that, even though I'm not on the admin team of it.
Yeah,
if my
they may have
frickin' thing load. Damn you, phone. Damn you.
Oh,
Why do
never
you make
mind.
life so difficult
Hey,
for me?
Joshua. Hey, Joshua, can you send me an invite to the YouTube RPG group that you're on?
Sure. I should.
I forget that you're on phone, Matt, so I'll get him. Joshua can do it for me.
All
Or,
right.
or I can wait and get Matt to do it.
Let's see here. If I can get Facebook to cooperate while I'm in Google Hangouts, because it tends to be like a memory suckage thing. Let's see if it'll behave itself. But it should be no problem.
I don't have you friended. You can't do that for me. Never mind. You can't do it. We'll have to wait on Matt to get back because you and I aren't friended yet.
We just now
It can
met.
be fixed in a matter of seconds. So.
Yeah, I know. I'll do that, and I'm gonna work on the Facebook for the group tomorrow. Um, I just I'm off tonight. Normally, you would not be seeing me on this time of the night because I work. I'm a 911 dispatcher, so I work at night. But I'm off today and tomorrow. So
Yeah, I understand that. I keep some pretty unusual hours myself, being an insomniac.
but on my nights off, I'll run scenes to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm used to being up at night. So
Huh?
I've
What
been
are
up.
y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? It's almost 3 a.m. for me. Shoo.
Thank you, Matt. That I can't see on. That I can't see on. Oh, it's Tim. All right, I'm back where I belong. I have missed you. I have missed the RPG YouTube Brigade. They are awesome. Um, I tell you what, I came in here before I left the group thinking that I wasn't going to worry. I was just going to use it when I played um, some individual one-time games. I ran a Pathfinder game. 24 people. I literally had to send 6 of them away because I didn't have enough Google Hangout space for them. It's terrible. But it's awesome. It works. So this group works really, really well. Um,
Plus, loads of great people. I mean, they're all very talented in their own ways, so they're always good to bounce ideas off of and everything.
Ooh.
So, what you up to, Flying Dutchman?
Me? No, I'm stalking Facebook right now.
uh,
At that time of night, I'd be searching the inside of my islands.
he is, and I feel bad. I need to do one of these in the morning, my time.
No. Nah, don't you worry. Like I'm
No,
usually
well, let me tell you what happens. I get off work at 6. I get up, usually get home, feed the dog, and change my clothes. And from about 7 Eastern time, my time, to about 11, I can't sleep anyway. Because, so I don't have to be at work until 11 at night. Or either 5:30 at night or either 11 at night, depends on what I'm
well,
doing.
my time zone is GMT +1, and in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have all the time in the world, so you really don't need to change anything.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you that I will run scenes for you earlier in the day for you, so you're not having to be up so late. Um, I will
Eh,
cater it better to my Netherlands players because unfortunately some games that have basically all Netherlands players sure don't carry to me. So I didn't say that. I did not say that. I don't play a demon in that game. Um, we are a new World of Darkness game. We are holding a character creation party on Google Hangouts. Come join us at. Where is. Oh, there we go. Setting lower third text.
Do, do.
Oh, that's not right. Oh, whoops. What was it? Oh, hold up. Uh, oop. No. Um, I'm breaking my signs. Hold up.
Breaking sciences.
No, I'm bringing there. Now I'm not going to touch anything. I want to cut and paste this one. There. All right. Anyway, I mean, it may take us a few weeks to get going too. We may not be able to go live right away until we get some people. Till we get some people up that want to play and get the word out there.
Well, if you need me to, I'll do some recruiting. I mean, no problem.
Oh, absolutely. If you know people that might want to play, just have them go ahead and go to the boards, to the Southern Knights Pro boards, and fill out an account, and I'll talk to them on the boards. I will be running a few more of these. Wait a minute, today. I go back to work tomorrow night and Thursday, but then I'm off all weekend, so I'll definitely be around to do some more.
Oh yeah, most of this week I'm free. I'm starting back college in the next one, but I still will have time, so it's like no huge deal. I just got to make sure that I stay on top of my stuff so I don't wind up burning out while I'm, trying to manage both things and whatnot.
Yep. So anyway, I'm still waiting. I guess Matt must have gone to dinner. I am thinking that is what he did because he is gone. I saw Ariana come by the. I saw Ariana walk by the camera briefly, and then he said he had to go for a minute, so he'll be back. And then we really will start working on characters.
Oh, trust me. If there's one thing 20 years in a wheelchair will teach you.
I will see. I'll read the book first before I start thinking about character concepts.
Yeah, well, please read your book and read it kind of the first couple of chapters that tell you about the story and the concept story about as much as you can, because we will not be going live for probably another 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be having more.
No worries.
We'll be having more of these character creation parties, and it'll give me a moment to try to poke some people like Chantal and a few others to come and play, or at least try.
No worries. Like the Masquerade book is like 555 pages, and I remembered
the red
it
one
all.
is 311,
And
I'm really thinking about going and pricing one. Getting one, I'm gonna get it for $40, or I'm either gonna go see how much it costs to print the PDF on plain white paper, front and back. Is that me? That is me.
And we'll see. In any case, guys, I'm gonna go to sleep now because it's
Yep, we're
3
gonna
a.m.
rock it. Matt's gonna rock it. Matt, we will do character creation another night. Unfortunately, Matt had to go. Evidently, Ariana's wanting him to go do other things, and I really honestly need to go do other things too, because if I don't have dinner on the table by the time my roommate and my wife get home, so.
All right.
I will talk to you guys next time. And if you guys, Max, I know you are, but Joshua, if you'll get signed up on the boards, when you make your account, use your first initial and your last name, because we only want one. You'll have more than one character in the game, but we only want one user account. That way I know it's you. Max, you're okay. I can edit your user, your
Uh,
display name.
yeah, I always use that name. But
That's fine.
once you end this broadcast, don't forget to like take down your Google Hangouts or TinyURL links on the pages you posted, just to avoid confusion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fixing to do that right now. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. See you guys.